TIFU by donating $15.041 to a poor community in Bangladesh instead of the $150 donation I intended. This happened in February of last year, but my friends have been telling me I need to post this story online. So here goes nothing. My wife and I, both 31 years old, at the time, moved into a new 3-unit apartment building in San Francisco. One of our neighbors is a 70-something-year-old retired veteran. We'll call him Joe. For context, Joe is a white American guy, and he's also a devout Hindu priest. One day I run into Joe in my hallway, and he tells me about this charity he manages for a community in Bangladesh. I wanted to support my neighbor and the charity, so I asked Joe to send me the GoFundMe link. The next day at work, I go on the GoFundMe page and donate $150. Or so I thought. Moments later, I get a text on my phone warning me of an unusually large transaction on my credit card. I'm confused and swipe to open the text message. It says I have made a payment of $15.041 to GoFundMe. Immediately I'm sweating. How could I have donated $15,000? I spend the next 10 to 15 minutes racing my steps, and finally I realize my credit card starts with the numbers 4 and 1. It seems I had accidentally started typing my credit card information while my cursor was still in the donation box, and just like that 150 became 15,041. Yikes. I call GoFundMe support line in a panic, and when I finally connect with a human I explain what happened. No need to worry, he tells me. They will initiate a refund of the transaction which should process in 3 to 7 business days. That's a huge relief. But then I ask the agent if the charity will be able to see the donation on the GoFundMe page until it is refunded. What do you mean? The agent asks me. What do you mean? What do I mean? Was my response. Will they be able to see the $15.041 donation? Unfortunately, yes, the agent tells me. They will be able to see it until their fund process is complete. I tell him that's a big problem, as the entire GoFundMe had hardly raised that much at that point. Surely they will notice their fundraiser doubling overnight. My plan was to knock on Joe's door the following morning to give him the full story, so that he could pass it along to his contacts in Bangladesh. But when I woke up the next morning, I looked at my phone and saw I had 40+ notifications on Facebook. Someone had sent me a friend request, had liked many of my old posts, and had sent me many messages. Immediately I was concerned when I saw that the individual messaging me had a Hindu name, but I never could have imagined what I saw when I opened his first message. The man had sent me a video of himself from Bangladesh, surrounded by dozens of impoverished and hungry people holding bags of food, thanking me name, Michael, for my generous donation. A big round of applause for Michael. At this point, I've leapt out of my bed and I'm pacing. Part of me wants to scream, part of me wants to crack up laughing. I start swiping through the man's messages, and it is picture after picture after picture of poor Bangladeshis thanking me for my kind donation. Literally hundreds of photos of frail, elderly, disabled, and malnourished individuals holding signs with my name. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. I've uploaded a portion of the video, and a few photos, for you guys to see here. https://imager.com/gallery/troxniv. Needless to say, I couldn't live with myself just donating $150 after seeing how the community responded to the $15.041. I decided the least I could do was to add a zero, and so I donated $1.500 once the original donation was refunded. The charity's host was incredibly gracious and understanding, and he explained to me that $1.500 goes very far in Bangladesh for urgent food relief. Here's the charity's new GoFundMe link if you want to check it out. e.com/f/urgent-food-relief-assistance-in-Bangladesh. Ultimately, I think the whole experience was a win-win. I helped a great cause, and I got a funny story out of it. TLDR. Some impoverished folks in Bangladesh thought I had sent them $15.041, but it was an accident and I had to request a refund for most of it. Edit. Many are asking why there is no $1.500 donation listed in the fund's donation history. I donated to an old campaign link for the same charity. It is readily findable online, if you feel compelled to search for it. TIFU by doing what my ex-wife says and ignoring the accident, and 2 people died. So this happened. I dunno. 2008-ish, and it's a memory that unfortunately won't go away in my life. It popped up again, unintentionally and unprovoked the other night, and it just doesn't sit right with me, and I'm always left with regret and remorse. So the year was 2008 or so. I tried Googling the news headlines to corroborate my claim, but I'm not very good with that sorta advanced search. My then wife at the time is not a good person at heart. She was a Karen in training and very self-centered. We were heading up the 101 in Cali for her cousin's wedding one weekend. I want to say it was around Salinas? Before the exit to head west to Monterey. When the accident happened, I saw a spray helicopter about 100 yards on our right take off from the fields and watched it get about 50 feet in the air. Not too high for a helicopter but enough to be low for a helicopter. I saw it hovering there and then saw the propellers for a second, quite visibly, which caught my attention because you should honestly never see them rotating that fast when airborne. So now I'm paying complete attention to the helo and I watch smoke come out its engines and then just stop and plummet to the ground like a rock. I saw it happen and pointed it out and I started to pull over to the shoulder to help and she yells at me. What are you doing? I'm pulling over to go help. What are you going to do? I've got a fire extinguisher in the car. I can go put out the flames and try and pull them out. You're not a Marine anymore. You can't just go running off and saving people anytime anymore. But they could be hurt and I see smoke everywhere. No, we're going to be late to the wedding. Let someone else deal with it. So away we went. I found out later on during the week in the news that the 2 people died inside from the fire before emergency services got there. The worst part is that when we finally arrived to her cousin's wedding, we found out that they deemed us unimportant enough for the actual ceremony and it was the reception we were hurrying to. I feel like those deaths are on me and I should have done something. TLDR. I saw a crash and my wife refused to let me go help and I feel like the 2 people died because of it. TIFU by sending my mom a Snapchat of me climaxing. I'm absolutely mortified. LDR boyfriend, M25, and I, F24, were talking and I decided to send him some spicy content before I went to work. And I guess I have early onset blindness because I sent a video, with sound on, to my mom and boyfriend of me flicking the bean and squirting just my whole kitty out. The worst part is I didn't realize she got it until she sent a message saying, "What the UCK?" I checked our messages because I was confused and lo and behold there the video was. I immediately deleted it and apologized. Luckily she was fairly understanding, but I am so embarrassed and honestly feel sick. I literally called my sisters crying and they all kinda cheered me up by laughing and saying, "It happens." The thing is, I still live with my parents and once I'm out of work, I have no idea how I'm going to face her in person. So I've decided to run away and join a nunnery because I can't deal with the embarrassment. TLDR. I accidentally sent my mom a snap of me flicking the bean. Luckily she seems chill about it, but I've decided to run away and become a nun due to embarrassment. Edit 1. Wow, thank you everyone for some laughs. During these trying times lol I really appreciate it. Currently, I am still at work and will be updating y'all once I get home. And the responses I got from her have been just a few broken heart and crying emojis so woman shrugging light skin tone update. I came home and luckily she wasn't here, so I quickly ate dinner and sat in my room waiting. She came in a while later with my younger sister. And immediately called me a dumbass, while laughing. She unfortunately did see it at work and didn't know what she was looking at first before realizing that it was my cooter. We laughed about the situation and I apologized again. Thank you all for the laughs and even sharing your own stories. It's been a crazy day lol. TIFU by removing a cyst in my car on my lunch break. It felt stupid to let that little marble of hit keep me from being productive. I'm under a ton of pressure at work, and I didn't want to take a day off for some bullshit I felt like I could take care of on my own. Then, I went fully feral and decided that's exactly what I was going to do. So I sterilized a razor and a sewing needle, and got to work removing a marble-sized piece of white chalk from under my skin. In my car. At 1:30 on a Tuesday. In front of my place of work. Yeah, IDK. Skipped it today, it's infected, it hurts like hell, and I'm going to urgent care on my lunch break. They were impressed with my pain tolerance, especially given its location, but I brought them my unfinished project. I got the whole thing out, but it was a hack job. Obviously. I'm gonna be taking antibiotics and junk for like 2 weeks, and have a totally not cool scar in a yucked up spot for the rest of my life. TLDR I yucked up by being a DIY surgeon in my care in my lunch break, and got a nasty infection. Edited. It wasn't on my ut. I'm not that skilled. Lol we'll just call it a limb. Which one? The left tone IDK. It was in a spot that made me look like a AMN bridge troll, but not in a spot that I can't hide. Lol, I don't think I'm brave enough to excise assist from my junk. SS. Update. It looks like I took it out with an ice cream scoop. It's super crazy looking, but it hurts really bad now that it's dry because it's in a spot that moves. Lol, comment section unlocked a new fear, genital cysts. Since y'all are completely obsessed with its location, and I'm tired of opening my notifications to genital cyst this and alls that. It was in the crease of my hip close to my Johnson where it would still be visible if I were in swim shorts.